And here we are, in the blink of an eye. Shall we take stock of our surroundings?
This hustle and bustle puts me right at home.
Lots to do, I'll be somewhere to make some quick call.
Could you come over here?
This inspires naught but misgivings.
As I recall, the location of another of our tasks is not far from here.
Efficiency is not the only factor worthy of consideration.
We've come all this way, only to find ourselves unawaited. Perhaps our timing was awry.
What to make of this?
Greetings, Your Majesty. Have you a moment to speak? You will want to hear this. 'Tis information of great import. 'Tis not a matter for prying ears. Pray. There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen Your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. While examining the palace ledger for evidence of the Queen Regent's misdeeds, I made for some time now, it seems, she has been diverting a veritable mountain of gold to the daily. What's more, this inexpedient spending habit is recorded to. This cannot be mere happenstance. I can only conclude that yet 'tis strange. For sweet crown flowers only grow on the eastern edge. I dare say 'twas not an item chosen idly. Mayhap this knowledge, 'tis a frail hope to be certain. Yet all the same, I would ask that Your Majesty venture to Vermont's eastern edge and probe into this young. I am glad to hear it. There is much we ought to tend to. You've done a fine job culling those monsters, Your Majesty. 'Tis common the number of those who seek out this tavern in the hope of an audience with the Arisen. Should you continue to display such valor, the day will soon come when Disa can no longer deny. And ere it slips my mind. Pray, take this.
We have achieved our objective.
Indeed. You've culled more than your fair share of monsters. I expect tales of your valor will soon be told in taverns.
Not a bad idea.
Could use a little fun.
Someone is looking this way. Is there aught about me that caught their eye?
Here at last.
How dare you!
It's been some time since we last saw the young man who coveted that little box.
Encountering this foe here is a most unwelcome surprise.
Just one more push to bring it down.
Like a boss! Down the wall.
Taking initiative, I'll have you know.
This is too much. Please, have mercy. I We've arrived, I see. That's a relief.
Utterly despicable.
I'm a goner.
Really now?
Do you shop often?
Good day, sir.
Say, well, if you do visit, you might want to give the old man who lives there, I hear, he sets out to sea on his boat, as if that wasn't queer enough. I cannot fathom his obsession.
Was I headed?
I'm in fine fetting today.
I'm rather unfamiliar with the market.
This really is fine craftsmanship. Oh, I possess no ill intent, I assure you. Those of other races differ so in design from our own, you see. I cannot do that's all 'tis, mind. Curiosity. And even if I did, it isn't as if I could purchase one. It would be no matter how they fascinate me. It isn't to be.
I've all manner of arms for... Dale, come, have yourself a look.
These foreign bows do so intrigue me, but I shall admire them from afar. You would simply give this to me? Oh, that is most generous. I would gladly... Fascinating. 'Tis not dissimilar from an elven bow in make, such as this bowstring. It looks quite the same, but the tension is altogether different. Why do you stare? Perhaps you find it absurd that I should marvel so at a bow, not of... I suppose I sought inspiration, for I confess I find myself rather lost. My aim has suffered of late. The timing could not be more unwelcome, as my skill with a bow is to be put on trial anon. Forgive me. I should not expect you to know of our ways. I speak of the trial of archery. A time on... Every elf undergoes this trial when they reach maturity. Till we succeed, we are not considered to have... I've been training most diligently, yet my skills ne'er seem to take shape. Indeed, I fear my aim has only worsened with each. I grew so vexed with myself that I sought to learn a foreign form of archery rather than master my own people. Thanks to you, I now have the means to do so. Though I dare say I shan't make any headway on my own, it might be just what I need to find my aim. Please, sir, you gifted me this bow. Many thanks. I'm indebted, but this is no place to practice. Would you be so kind as to meet me by... That's where I train, you see. I'll be able to concentrate on your display of bowmanship. I do hope you'll join me. For now...
Well met, sir. How might I be of service? Do come again.
Now,
Well met, son. How might I be of service?
Oh, I can't complain.
I'd fain aid you, how...
Would you care to stay and talk? I'm glad. Sit down. I'm rather fond of this place. I never imagined a city could be like this. So full of excitement, so... And how could I have? In all my life, I've hardly left the palace. My mother is quite... Oft did I long for a taste of normal life. My mother has always procured the things I covet for me, so to pick out an item and... Of course, in the end, you were the one who made the purchase. That's all right. I know you meant well. Besides, I can say I wanted to give you something in return by way of thanks. My apologies, friend, but I'd best be going. I mustn't let Mother find out I left. Thank you for indulging me. I do hope we'll see each other enough.
Gather round, gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north. And who the Oscar? Why, the beast! Answer my riddle. Did the fierce... Some things say.
What did you think of that story? 'Twas well told and all, but not particularly exciting, eh? I'd heard tell of him, and by the look of it, he doesn't appear to...
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero off the page. He delved into a temple of baleful feature, only to be confronted by a four-legged creature. But when our hero drew his blade, unto him a demand was made. And who the Oscar? Why, the beast! An uncanny affair, to say the least. Yet there was no time for shock and dismay, as answer my riddle, did the fearsome thing say. The trickery was clear.
Say, have you been to... Well, if you do visit, I hear he sets up as if that wasn't queer. I cannot fathom his obsession.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and...
What do you want?
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain...
Might I interest you in my humble... Yes. Hope to see you again.
Nothing. Caught your eye. That's a shame. Let's hope there's aught worth our coin next time.
Me? As well.
I grow restless when I...
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
They say the Sovereign's seems driving away the dragon took quite a toll. It is a right miracle he yet lives, if you are.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero off the page. He delved into a temple of baleful feature, only to be confronted by a four-legged creature. But when our hero drew his blade, unto him a demand was made. And who the asker? Why, the beast! An uncanny affair, to say the least. Yet there was no time for shock and dismay, as "Answer my riddle," did the fearsome thing say. The trickery was clear. To respond meant certain doom. But in the midst of his answer, he'd doubtless be consumed. So a mighty attack did our hero dispense, to conquer his foe and banish it thence. With a single strike was the towering beast repelled, to quail in fear at the mortal strength it beheld. Such is the legacy of Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day. Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat. Aye, got some coin to spare your much appreciated.
All you need of me?
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
What?
This looks like trouble.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with powers most fell.
Ox carts don't travel at night anymore. Monsters are apt to grow. It would be the height of madness. Should you require a cart services?
Gather round.
This is most convenient. Another destination we were bound for is not far from here.
We'll make our way there in time. As to whether it will be sooner or later, that is for the Arisen to decide.
Now, listen close.
Myself injured.
Not a care in the world, just as it should.
We forget the value of a moment's contemplation.
Naught compares to a real battle.
Shall we get some rest then?
Should we hunt a few monsters to start the day off?
Off we go then.
A new day, a new perspective.
Hi, would you care to join me? I'd not say no to a bit of... I was hoping you'd say that. Do you know, I had a feeling we'd meet here today. Say, you're not from round here, are you? How I envy. I long to learn more of the outside. She's always telling me how dangerous it is beyond the palace walls. After all, if the world truly is so perilous, what of the lives of our people? It seems unfair that I alone should be But listen to me waffling on. Ah, I almost forgot. I happened upon this little... My apologies, friend, but I'd best be going. I mustn't let my... Thank you for indulging me. I do hope we'll see...
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
They can be most convenient, though they travel only during the day. Displaying bowmanship for an elf? My hand would tremble on the string if 'twere me, but I expect you'll do just fine. Very well. I'll guide you there directly.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
Your current vocation is ill-suited to wielding a bow, Master.
True enough. Let me get that.
If we're to destroy this, 'twill have to be from the other side.
Plainly speaking, 'tis a bother.
A forgotten riftstone we've not discovered lies nearby. 'Tis this way, as I recall, from my last sojourn beyond the rift.
Goblins, master! One of us has been drenched. Dare I say it? We trounced our foe well and true.
No doubt, this triumph will spur us into the next. Into a pincushion. colors have faded and must be recast. Our party is well balanced. I can see no weaknesses that might be exploited.
No challenges beyond our combined might.
Tis no great shock to me.
Let the elements empower your strikes!
Arisen, you are full of surprises. I look forward to informing my own master of that strategy.
Now that is a surprise. No one can defend themselves when grappled like this. Your current vocation is ill-suited to wielding a bowmaster.
Tis no great shock to me. So the fun begins again, eh, Arisen?
To arms!
No quarrel here.
Welcome!
And here I thought I was leading the way. But I suppose your whims take precedence.
There will be other opportunities to lead. For now, let us follow.
I'll turn you into a pit, Richard.
This wood has water temper.
I do not think their raisins are, Grant. No quarrel here.
Lord save our best will do.
Very well, my master.
Arisen! Are you all right?
Might not be a quick situation. Mayhap I ought to find a new weapon.
What are you doing? You're in the midst of battle.
Find myself hard pressed to respond.
I seem to recall there being a treasure chest in this area when I explored it in other worlds. Shall I lead the way?
An impressive view. We can infer much of the lay of the land from here.
Perhaps we might take a moment to savor the scene.
Indeed, you are correct.
Your current vocation is ill-suited to wielding a bow, Master.
True enough. Slimes! There!
Two places of interest nearby. I could tell you more about them if you like, Master. No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. Everything gets the world, as they say. Magics are at your disposal!
You'll never reach our destination if you continue in that direction, Mark.
Who? True to your word, you have come. This shan't do. How are we to proceed if you haven't the means to shoot a bow?
I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
Let us ponder how best to proceed. So we've finally arrived. I thought we'd never make it.
Who? This shan't do. Who? This shan't do. How are we to proceed if you have...
We're unlikely to find any warm hearths down here.
We'd best be prepared to make our own light before we proceed.
By your leave. Methinks this can only be destroyed from the other side.
Forgive me if I do not jump for joy.
The flicker of a shadow, the gleam of an eye, the echo of a footfall. If we hone our senses, no foe shall escape us.
Pray speak up, should you notice aught amiss.
Who? True to your word, you have come.
What about you? Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality. Much obliged. The solution eludes me, but I'm certain there is one.
That's good enough for hunting for one day.
Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality in all. Much obliged.
Have a look. I'm just grateful to be quite. Interested in my ware? Pleasure doing business.
Your current vocation is ill-suited to wielding a bow, Master.
All the best tales.
Welcome to... We serve all manner of fine ales here. Shall I pour you a cup to start you off?
We found a chest. But I wouldn't get too excited if I were you. You won't always find what you hope for.
There's treasure within, I'm certain of it. But there's only one way to find out.
Greetings. Here we conduct all manner of procedures pertaining to vocations. If there is aught I may assist you with,
Always a pleasure.
Peruse at your leisure.
Well met, son. How might I be of service?
Hoi, friend, fair warning. Goblin from the tell of it. There, pray do be careful. Losing my wares for good would make me sore, but no sack of gold could... compare to a fellow life. The goblin's lair. I hope you can reclaim aught from the fiends. It would bring me peace of mind to...
Well met, son. might I be of service?